Hi, I'm Angela from Get Women Cycling here at Recycle a Bicycle in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Recycle a Bicycle is a nonprofit organization that refurbishes donated bikes, and then with the proceeds it funds school-based programs in New York City. It's a great organization. Stop by their Brooklyn or Manhattan locations and say hello and check them out. So today we're going to talk about how to properly inflate your bicycle tire. This is probably one of the most needed maintenance feats that you should practice, especially if you are cycling more frequently, and definitely if you're doing it daily or even weekly. So we're going to talk about how to inflate your tubes. This is the Schrader Valve. This is common on mountain bikes, cross bikes, city bikes, and it should be familiar if you drive cars because it's also the valve that's on a car, and it's the more simpler of the two. The other valve that we're going to look at is the Presta Valve, which is slightly more complicated because of this middle piston in the center here. Floor pumps. If you have a floor pump, that's awesome. If you don't, you should go to a bike shop and use what they have there. This is a typical floor pump with a gauge so that you can actually tell how much air pressure you are inflating into your tire. The ones that come these days with a single nozzle that will actually adapt to either the Schrader or Presta valve. Many years ago, that you would actually need to put on a different adapter or even remove a part and then put in another part. Not the case now. With the Schrader valve, this is simple. Once you see that the threads are open and visible, you can then very simply put in the valve into the nozzle of the pump, but put it in as straight as you can and also as deeply as you can. And once you have that in place, what you'll need to do is keep it in place by locking it. And to do that with this particular pump, it's just taking the lever from its rest position into its lock position. Once it's locked in there, there's no chance that the valve will move and air will remain going in through the chamber into the tube. And once you filled it to the proper air pressure, then all you would need to do in this case again is to open up the hold by putting that lever down, releasing the valve, and you're pretty much set. That's with the Schrader valve. Don't be afraid if you hear hissing coming out of the valve as you're removing the nozzle. That's pretty common. And it's also probably one of the more nerve-wracking sounds while we're trying to inflate tires to hear air coming out, but it's totally normal. So here we go with the press. So what I think I'm going to do here is just move the camera to the bicycle that's in the stand here and show you how it's done on the actual bike wheel. So let's do that. Okay. So here's the Presta valve with the dust cap. What we're going to do is remove that dust cap. And it will show you that nut that's in the lock position. We know it's in the lock position because when we press down on the nozzle, we can't hear any air coming in or out. So we're going to loosen that nozzle all the way till it hits the end. It won't go off because there's a stop there. And once it's fully open, what you need to do is then just quickly press once or twice to break the seal there and allow a free-flowing chamber for the air to go in. Now we're going to do as we did with the Schrader valve, make sure that we put this floor pump nozzle all the way in as far as we can go. Make sure that it is straight with the valve, and then lock that in place. Once it's locked in place, pump it to the desired air pressure, which is indicated on the wall of your tire. Then release the floor pump by opening up the seal, taking it away, and then quickly close that nut. Replace your dust cap, and you're good to go. If you have any questions or comments, if you found this useful, please like us, share us, and write your questions down in the comments section. Thanks so much. See you soon.